So one of the hidden gems of 90s techno production and a drum synth classic from the late 70s finally makes it to the Eurorack semi-modular format. Introducing Syncussion SY1. So the Syncussion SY1 is an authentic reproduction of the original 1979 Syncussion drum synth manufactured by the acoustic drum kit brand Pearl. A brand you wouldn't typically associate with synthesizers. It came at a point when synth-based music was just starting to gain a more mainstream audience. And with the success of electronic drum systems like the Simmons SDS3, the more established drum brands decided to get into the burgeoning market. And the original Syncussions actually came with two drums used to trigger the synth, since the product was targeted solely for drummers looking to top up their acoustic drum kits with some futuristic synth percussion. Some of the early adopters of the Syncussion were OMD, Soft Cell, and New Order. But as music technology evolved and the futuristic sounds of the 80s fell out of fashion, so too did the drummer synths. And much like the now iconic 808s and 303s, they ended up in second-hand stores being sold for a tiny fraction of the original cost, catching the eye of the next generation of electronic producers who snapped them up at bargain prices and began using them in completely new creative ways. With perhaps one of the most famous examples being Aphex Twin, a long-time user of the Syncussion right from his early groundbreaking albums of the 90s to his most recent. Okay, so now let's take a look at the synth itself, and we'll focus on one channel since both channels are the same. So looking at the sliders, you've got a control for tune, a control for decay, there's the width control, which is simply a low-pass filter. Then you've got an upward and downward pitch modulator with speed and range controls. Got a nice simple LFO which can go into audio rates with a speed and depth control. And you've also got a nifty little sample and hold here to get random pitch. So let's now go through the oscillators. We've already heard oscillator A, which is a single oscillator. So B is two oscillators with FM. And then Then C is a mix of two oscillators with a low and a high octave. Then D is again a two oscillator mix, but with a sweep dependent on the trigger strength rather than the sweep setting. E is two oscillator FM with added noise. And finally, you have E, which is just pure noise.